What is happening, YouTubes? Vector here, and we're back again. You join me crawling through the average speed zone just before the Tamar Bridge. Thought I'd turn the camera on at this point. It's a good view up from the Tamar Bridge to go through. I'm venturing out of Cornwall today, back into Devon, heading over to Plymouth. And yeah, look at this. Magnificent, isn't it? Tamar Valley up both sides. Some beautiful spots up the top end of Tamar Valley there. Cothelle and similar. Heading over for my MOT today. So I've got a couple of garages that I use at this point. The little bike, the CG, Scamp. I take him to one up in Launceston because it's closer and easier and he can get away with it. But the big one, I like to take back to my usual guy, which is Cook Motorcycles in Plymouth. Phil, the mechanic there. Been using him for literal years at this point. I was using him before I left Plymouth originally. Still using him now. He's great and he always looks after me. So I always make the effort to come back if I can. Obviously it is over an hour ride each way now. So it's not something I do on the regular. So I get squished out by trucks here. Jump in behind Elon Musk fanboy here. He's an old woman apparently. Yeah, it's always good to make the effort. You know, these small independent garages, they can sort of struggle for business sometimes because they work on such small profit margins. Even when they're very busy, they don't necessarily make a huge amount of money. So I do my bit to help out. And over the years, I've always found the best services I've had from garages, then the most rewarding experiences have always been from garages where it's one person and their name's usually over the door. It's just them, sort of one-man band type thing, because they take so much more pride in their work if it's their business, their garage, more so than just being an employee, as this person pays for a bridge toll with a 20. How you doing? Thank you. The drag race out of the lights, which is the best part of that. So you may notice the bike looks a little bit different today. Well, I discovered a couple of days ago when I was getting ready for the MOT that my side light bulb had actually gone, which is typical timing. Obviously I've had some bad luck with side light bulbs recently because the Honda CG's bulb needed doing for the MOT as well. Luckily I discovered it in time, so I got a new bulb fitted, but in order to fit it I've taken the cowl off and I'm left it off for a bit. I'm going to see how I like it. It's partly off because when I was unscrewing the headlight unit, I initially started trying to unscrew the angle adjusters, mistaking them for the screws I needed, so I suspect that I'm going to need to adjust the headlight aim slightly because I imagine it's going to be off to one side and upside down or whatever. But also, yeah, just leaving it off for a bit, see how I like it. When I first bought this bike for my friend, I actually thought this was going to be how I'd run the bike in general. I didn't think I'd like the cowl, particularly as the cowl still doesn't have matching yellow paint yet. By the way, I don't come this way very often. I don't come to the city very often, so you may see a degree of faffery coming up, even with the sat-nav. Bear with me on that. I thought I wouldn't like the cowl because it's not colour matched. Actually, I came to like the cowl a lot, and the front end does look quite, I don't know, light. Like it looks like it's missing something now. So I'm not sure. I'm going to see how I like it. I'm going to take some photos and ride with it for a bit. The other thing my friend did say is that actually he found the wind buffeting was better without the cowl, because it was, as much as the cowl offers a little bit of protection, it also dirties up the air and you get quite a lot of messy turbulence, which you don't get with just the headlight. So I'm going to experiment with that a little bit. But the good news is the cowl is only 3 bolts to remove if you leave the brackets on, which I have, so you might be able to see there's a couple of little brackets, but they're fairly inoffensive. I think if I was doing this a long time I would remove the lower bracket, which goes onto the headlight and sticks out a little bit. It's a nice clean little dashboard now, isn't it? Like, it's just the clocks. I've got my sat nav, I've got my duck obviously. It seems lower, it seems lighter because you have less in front of you. It's always that sort of visual trick. I had the same effect on my Kawasaki Versys 650 when I got rid of the big riot shield windscreen that it came with and put on a little shorty smoked curved number. Suddenly the bike was transformed and I put an exhaust on it at the same time, which helped give it something to sing about. But just the placebo effect of having less bike in front of you, suddenly it felt nimble and agile, responsive, and it was such a strange sensation because the bike was no different. It wasn't handling any different. Unfortunately, the cross brace on the forks below the headlight has got a little bit of rust coming through the chrome. My fault, I've not winterized it effectively enough. So what I might do if I am running cowlless for a while is just pick up a little cheapy eBay roll bag, you know, one of those little like fork bags, and that would be quite handy to have just to put my disc lock and my helmet lock in as well. I used to have those. I've got a little cycle pouch actually supposed to go on a bicycle frame, but I used to have that mounted to the sissy bar, but obviously I don't have the sissy bar mounted at the moment, so having that little tiny bit of storage on the bike, just so I don't have to keep having it in my pockets, I can leave it in there and forget about it and not have to worry if I go out not expecting to stop somewhere and then change my plans and have to stop somewhere. That'd be a multifunctional piece, covering my rusty chrome but also offering me a little bit more practicality, because there's definitely times when I miss top boxes or storage or whatever that I normally have on bikes. This bike's obviously great to ride, but it's not practical for anything really, particularly now I've got rid of the sissy bar and the pillion seat. I really have nowhere to strap anything like luggage to or anything. Yeah, we're almost there. We're coming through the kind of industrial end of Plymouth here. We're going past the dockyards there and we're turning up here towards the front. Cook Motorcycles is over in Miller Court, which is just next to the ferry port, the commercial ferry port. Nice little garage. I'm not too worried about the MOT as well, which is always nice. Car MOTs, I do tend to get quite stressed by them, because obviously there's a lot that can go wrong in a car. Particularly, I'm not particularly mechanically minded. There's a lot that can go wrong without me seeing it, because there's so much of the car that's hidden underneath, and various struts and boots and dust covers and all the rest of it. They can come back with some very expensive problems, and it can be a complete shock to you. With bikes, I find it a lot more, I don't know, it's still not relaxing, but I don't worry so much with bikes because I can see everything. And if there's going to be an issue with a bike, I probably know about it before I go in. Helps take some of the what ifs out of the situation. And obviously, like I say, I'm going to my usual guy Phil. He's always looked after me, so I don't have to worry. I can trust him not to fleece me for, you know, to abuse my inexperience, which I have had plenty of times, particularly when I was starting out a young teenager. It took me a while to find Phil. I sort of worked through a series of garages in Plymouth. So this is the other part of Devonport, which is actually it's becoming quite sort of quite gentrified really. Like, got a lot of new quite fancy houses and apartments and stuff going up. A lot of big old townhouses still knocking around. In around all the industrial stuff, in around the military stuff. There is a military base just up here. You also find yourself with fancy houses and Range Rovers. It's a strange juxtaposition, but it's all part of Plymouth's ever-evolving tapestry. I do like Plymouth. Like, it's my hometown, for those that aren't aware, haven't been on the channel for a while. It's my hometown, born and raised here. I only left for that job up in the Midlands. Rookie mistake. But we're back now. There are areas of Plymouth that are a bit rubbish. Quite a lot of areas of Plymouth that are quite rubbish. And it is quite a low income city in places, but there are also areas that are really quite sort of up and coming. There's some good development knocking around. And also, like, there's a lot of affordable entertainment in Plymouth. We've got the ocean, we've got a bunch of beaches and seaside living. It is known as Britain's Ocean City, this one. We've got some good shows and good places like that. And then we also have big sort of city organised events as well. So we get the fireworks every year. We get the British Fireworks Championships, which are fantastic. So we get those in the summer. They're actually probably coming up soon, I would have thought. Are we going up here? Yeah. And they're a completely free event, huge, you know, 2-day event. 6 teams of fireworks competing, launched out over the sea, so you go to the seafront and watch them lighting up Plymouth Sound, the bay. Absolutely spectacular. The winning team gets a bunch of money. They also get the gig for Bonfire Night, and Bonfire Night is also a big free city event with a massive bonfire also, and it's just, you know, and a fun fair. It's all free. It's free. Oh, we're in here, aren't we? Not pay attention. Yeah, it's all free. It's free to attend. You don't have to buy tickets. You don't have to spend anything. You just go there and enjoy yourself. And that's a rare thing. Like, when I was up in the Midlands, all the fireworks events up there you have to pay for, which is stupid because they're in the sky, you just look at them. But yeah, here we are now. I'm pulling in Cook Motorcycles. I'll park up and then we'll see what we're going to do. Hey Phil, how you doing? Yeah, not bad man, not bad. Right, that is us done. Done and dusted for another year. It's always a pleasure seeing Phil. I have a really good time with him. I always hang out when I'm doing my servicing work and stuff, because I just can't be asked walking in time basically. Laziness more than anything. But Phil's good company. Good chat about various stuff. Followed his band. He started a band recently, so followed his band page. Clean bill of health. That was all in filter done, just because I was here anyway. MOT done. The only thing I needed in for the MOT was a bit of a notch in the headstock. I say a bit of a notch, it was actually quite a big notch. It has worsened since last year. We just adjusted that, sorted, we're off and good to go. It's always a good feeling when your bike's sorted and given a good clean half. Phil is very appreciative of this bike. He's very complimentary of it. He doesn't really get excited about bikes because obviously he works around them all day every day, but yeah, he likes this one. He appreciates the quality of it. I'm going to head into town now. I need to go and try and renegotiate my phone contract because I'm out of contract now, just paying on a rolling monthly, and I'm paying through the fucking nose for a bunch of data that I don't really use. So I've got to have a chat to the guys. I prefer doing it in person, so that's why I've been putting it off because I don't come to Plymouth very often. But I'm going to have a chat with them, try and sort that, try and knock a little bit off that each month if I can help it. Yeah, run some little errands and stuff, but that's about us. So I won't necessarily take you guys along with that. It's not a great deal worth seeing in city centre. I'm just going to ride along here. I'm going to park at Drake Circus because it's secure parking, indoor parking, free parking for bikes, which is always nice. But I'll leave you guys here, so thank you very much for watching. Just a quick one, sir, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ride safe.